Welcome to the series of presentations featuring important information on high-impact family engagement, as well as fostering strong partnerships in community engagement. This series supports the Indiana Department of Education's mission of working together for student success. Your commitment to the success of students, families, and community organizations is valued and deeply appreciated. This presentation, Regular Positive Communications, was developed by the Indiana Department of Education in collaboration with Social Legends to encourage Indiana's charter schools as they develop stronger partnerships with families of their students. Regular Positive Communications. Evidence shows the power of regular, consistent, positive communication between school and families. The role of the classroom teacher is especially important in focusing on the student, which is the primary interest of adults in the family. By maintaining regular communications throughout the school year, teachers build trusting relationships, helping to overcome barriers to the engagement of adults in their children's education. The coming of a new school year provides opportunities for teachers to establish a pattern of positive communications with family members. Initial steps to build relationship are critical and can build on the other leading practices, including events like back-to-school nights, enrollment outreach, and home visits. These occasions allow family and teacher to meet and get to know each other and share information about the student. The teacher can collect information about how the family wants to be contacted by phone, text, or email, and collect current, accurate contact information like phone numbers and email addresses. Other teachers have used a student survey distributed on the first day of class to collect this family contact information. Students should also know that teachers and families communicate. One teacher reported actually calling a family during class to make a positive student report. Face-to-face conversations are particularly valuable, whether they take place at homes, community settings, or at the school. However, other means of communications supplement face-to-face meetings, including personal phone calls, personal emails and texts, and notes carried home by the students. One powerful communications tool for teachers is the positive phone call home. Establish a pattern at the beginning of the term of regularly calling to tell the family something positive about the student. These need not be long calls, 3 minutes each, and can focus on an academic success or an occasion where a student was caught being good. You could share a joke the student told that made you and the class laugh. Just share with the family that the student had a good day and you enjoy having their child in your class. Many teachers find the personal touch of a human voice to be an important part of this communication. But evidence shows that regular, positive text messaging can also have the same effect as a phone call in building relationships with families. In one Indianapolis classroom, the teacher assigns students every Friday to send an email to their families sharing their accomplishments of the week, copying the teacher in a 3-way positive communication. Applications like Class Dojo or Remind can provide another tool that incorporates access to student information along with family communications. If schools and teachers want to use these tools, it's important to ensure that all families have access to the hardware and internet that support family use. In addition, some families might benefit with additional instruction about how to fully access all the capabilities of the application. One reason that positive, regular communications can be so powerful is because they break an unfortunate pattern. Too often, schools only contact families when there are problems. For families with this experience, contact from a teacher can trigger anxiety and defensiveness. In beginning the practice of positive communications, teachers may have to understand and overcome resistance. One teacher writing about her first calls indicated that she always began calls saying, "I have good news," so that families would not hang up. It may take a few calls to overcome family resistance, but consistent communications will work. The investment by teachers of their valuable time in regular communications is significant, but it pays off in results with the family and the student. Here's one story about how a teacher in Washington, D.C. saw the effect of positive communication over time.
So I communicate with my parents in various ways, and so that means that I'm communicating at different paces all throughout the year. On the home visit at the very beginning of the school year, I try to establish what the parent prefers as far as communication. A lot of parents will prefer you to call or it to be in person so that it is a dialogue. There are a lot of parents nowadays that really do prefer text messages, and they would prefer to have something that they can answer you at their own pace and at their own leisure and respond back. Very few parents prefer notes and paper-based communication. So having that established on the home visit can be really helpful. I communicate with parents very frequently, or as frequently as possible. I'll communicate with them in person after school every single day with a quick check-in. Hey, your student had a really great day today. This is something awesome that happened. Or, hey, we really struggled on this today. Can we talk about it a little bit more? Text messaging I use when it makes the most sense, such as reminding parents or letting parents know about big events that are happening, like APTT, back to school night, an honors breakfast, upcoming assessments that they want to make sure that their kids are at school on time, field trips, or snow days. And then it also is a really awesome opportunity for me to celebrate the accomplishments my students have during the school day. So for example, when I test students on their sight words or a new reading level, I'll immediately text mom and dad with the student right there to read the text message over my shoulder, telling mom or dad what the student was able to accomplish. It makes the student feel really proud because they know mom and dad has seen it, and it also makes the parents feel really great in case I'm not able to follow up with them. And of course, the parents always reply back with, I'm so proud of him, or I'm so proud of her, and way to go. And it's a great way to continue to encourage each other. I invest my own time in communicating with families because I have seen it pay off both in the happiness and the security of my students in the classroom, the openness that my families then feel because communication is a two-way street. The more that I communicate with them, the more they're willing to communicate with me. And I've also seen a huge impact in my students' academic growth. Because when parents feel like I am a partner in their students' academic career, academic trajectory, they're more willing to communicate with me. Oh, I noticed that my scholar is not able to do this at home. If that communication isn't open, then they're not going to share those things with me because they don't feel like I'll be there to support them. But when I've invested the time in building that strong relationship and communicating with them what I'm seeing in that classroom, both strengths and weaknesses, they feel like they can share those with me as well. This sort of communication, as well as home visits, allow our parents to truly be advocates for their students no matter where they go. We can't hold on to our babies forever. We can't be their teacher every single year, but we've empowered parents to be their students' advocate after they leave our classroom, and that makes our work go on and on and on.
The goal of all communications is to develop and deepen the relationship with families, always in the shared concern for the student. The tone and depth of communications between a teacher and a family member should proceed with that goal in mind, intentionally building more trust over time. As trust is built, families are better able to engage as partners with teachers, bringing their funds of knowledge about their children into supporting student learning and overcoming challenges that arise with students. Listen to what a mother says about the relationship that Ms. Lucas, the teacher we just heard, built with her.
Well, immediately after the home visit, I was then invited to a back to school night they were having in Stanton. They gave me a little flyer. I was like, well, we having a back to school night. It's from this time and this time. Bring the kids, like a meet and greet the teachers and everyone that was going to be there. But one thing I can say about, Stanton, period, is that it is constant communication, something I never had, something I completely enjoy. And it's not just negative communication, it's constant positive communication. I can be here at home, at work, anywhere, and one of my teachers would send me a text. Or I used to love it, Miss Lucas would send pictures. Take pictures of them doing classwork and see, look how my Tanae, well, I call her Bird. The school calls her Bird, which I love because it's like a community. They adopted her nickname. So she would send me a text like, look at Bird. She's having a wonderful day today and she's doing good. But in saying that allowed me to hear. I put a trust in Miss Lucas for doing that. So no matter what she said, how she had to say it, what the information is, it made it easier for me to receive it from her. Because she had built this communication, this trust that I never had. So I tell people now, friendship. You know what I'm saying? We're not friends to talk every single day, but she's a person that I will always hold in a high regard. She will always have my respect. I really respect Miss Lucas, and I value her so much because not just her, but all the teachers, but like she was the first one to really extend herself to me. And I would get the text, and then one day Tanae had a bad day. And she called me, and I was expecting to get something good. Oh, she got good on her test, so she did really. And she was like, well, we had a bit of an issue today. I'm like, for real? What happened? Well, Tanae did X, Y, and Z, and I didn't get defensive. I didn't get, well, what did you do? Or what did I actually sat back and I listened. And I received the information, and I processed the information. For me, that was something different because at that point in time, I felt it like, why am I getting mad? Because normally you call me on the phone and you're telling me something about my child did this, I'm naturally on the defense like, well, what did you do to make my child do this? Or who was messing with her in class because my baby's a good baby? But in this time, it was different. And I don't know if it's because of the positive, feedback she gives me every day, the friendship we bought. It just made, when she was telling me what was going on, I took a breath, I stopped and I listened, and then I was like, we actually got to a page where we worked together. I said, well, you know what, since she's having a bad day, can you put her on the phone? Mm-hmm. And I spoke with her on the phone and I let her know that me and Miss Lucas are working together. We are a team, and if she asks you to do something, you need to treat it as if mommy is asking you to do something. So if she asks you to sit down, you need to sit down. And there was no more problems with Tanae.
This is the end of our presentation, High Impact Family Engagement, fostering a meaningful connection between school and family to support student achievement and success. Thank you for viewing.